Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And for this video, I wanted to pull up this older Reddit post. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys could check it out. So you guys can get a sense and feel of where T-Mobile swapped the DoD 3.45 and where AT&T is going to pick it up once the FCC lifts the 40 megahertz cap on the DoD. So these are the 14 markets that at the time T-Mobile traded 3.45 for more 2.5. You guys can see them right here. Indianapolis, Nashville, Oklahoma, Birmingham, Harrisburg, Cape Coral, El Paso, Texas, as I mentioned earlier, Albuquerque, Jackson, Wichita, LaGrange, Corpus Christi, Boise, Midland, Odessa. That's the only areas that AT&T will get the additional 20 megahertz of DoD. It's not going to be Dallas. It's not going to be Houston. It's just going to be those 14 PEAs that AT&T will get the additional DoD. Again, even here it's listed in this post. It just made so much sense that even the person said it would just make so much sense that AT&T would buy the spectrum from Sonic Wave, even if they had to pay more for it than what T-Mobile originally paid for it. They're going to get this. In these markets that you see on screen, AT&T already has the DoD antenna deployed, so it's easy. Even if they have to pay more for it, they hardly have to spend any cost to deploy it. Slim to none. They might have to deploy a few more DoD radios here and there, but for the most part, where it's already on the towers, it's just a software upgrade. So this is the first round of AT&T getting more DoD spectrum, the 3.45. The next one would be in the US Cellular transaction, and then the rest would have to come from very likely Dish, if they could reach a lease agreement, which they probably will. And that will get AT&T to 80 megahertz, maybe 100 megahertz in some markets. And then I think there are a few smaller players that have some of that spectrum that AT&T could get. Much smaller, but there's still some that they can get here and there, but it won't be on a nationwide scale anymore, right? Once they get the Dish lease or buy or whatever Dish decides to do, that would probably be it, right? There's still some other ones out there, but those are probably smaller, regional in many cases. So for El Paso, Texas, that is PEA 73. We would go from 40 to 60 megahertz of DoD. That's 80-60. That's a good amount of spectrum for the market share that AT&T has here. That'll last AT&T for quite a while. They can easily, very, very cost effectively add more densification if needed. They can still add the C-band or DoD or both, whichever they decide, onto the small cells that they've deployed. They still have many other solutions to drive capacity if that slows down. But for now, they're bringing more and more and more and more capacity into the market to begin with. And this additional 20 megahertz is going to make them that much faster. So, and then all the other markets, Midland, Boise, I mean, all those other markets, Albuquerque is a Nokia to Ericsson market, so that's getting DoD. I mean, this is just a big win. Although it's not a big, massive scale, right? I mean, there's no California on there. There's no New York on there. I mean, this is just very few markets that they're gaining the additional spectrum in. But like I said, if they work out a deal with Dish, which I'm assuming would happen if they get that waiver approved, they're just going to call Dish. I mean, Dish is not doing anything with that spectrum, so there might as well be some kind of lease where Dish gets more money that they can use to build out a network. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Let you know the markets and where this is happening. Let us know in the comments. I'll leave a link to this post in the description so you guys can check it out. Like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned for more. See you in the next one. Peace.